Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're going to tackle a huge question, one we all think about. How do you actually live a good life? Well, we're about to unlock a guide that's over 2,000 years old, and the answer? It might be a lot simpler and, honestly, a little stranger than you'd expect.
Think about it. Somebody asks you this question every single day, right? And you probably have your go-to answer ready. Good. Fine. Not bad. But what if the real answer, the best answer, isn't any of those?
What if the answer was something kind of weird, like, fine, I'm functional? Now that sounds a little strange, but what if I told you it's actually a super profound philosophical statement? Yeah, for the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle, being functional isn't just, getting by. It's the whole point. So let's break down what on earth he meant by that. Okay, so to get this, we've got to start with one of Aristotle's most fundamental ideas. He believed that everything in the entire universe, and I mean everything, from a rock to a tree to you, has a purpose. He had a special word for this ultimate purpose, telos. And his argument was pretty straightforward. For anything to be considered good, it has to be fulfilling its unique purpose, its telos, as well as it possibly can.
Let's make this super simple. Think about a knife. What's its purpose? Its telos? Well, it's to cut. So what makes a good knife? It's one that cuts really, really well. It's sharp, it's effective, it's functioning as it should. Makes sense, right? But, and this is the big leap, this leads to a much bigger question. What is the unique function of a human being?
And Aristotle's answer here is what he believed makes us, well, us. It's what separates us from everything else out there. Sure, we grow just like plants, and we have senses just like animals. But our one unique telos, it's our ability to think, to reason. And this is where we get to his really radical conclusion. The good life, it's not about being rich. It's not about chasing after fun parties or fleeting pleasures. For Aristotle, the good life is a life spent functioning excellently as a rational being. That is the path to what he called eudaimonia, which is this amazing idea of true human flourishing. It's about thriving, not just surviving.
Okay, so how do we get there? How do we achieve that flourishing? The answer is through something he called virtue, or in the original Greek, arete. Now, when you hear virtue, you might think of some stuffy, old-fashioned rule book. Forget all that. For Aristotle, arete just means excellence. That's it. A virtuous person is simply someone who's showing human excellence, someone who's functioning at their absolute best.
So the big question is, how do we become virtuous? Are some people just born that way? Aristotle says absolutely not. He's very firm on this. Virtue isn't some gift you get. It's a skill. And just like any other skill, you got to build it through practice.
And he lays out this really clear three-step process that honestly sounds kind of modern. Step 1, you use your brain, your reason, to figure out what the excellent or virtuous thing to do is. Step 2, you make a conscious choice to actually do that thing. And step 3, you just repeat it over and over and over again until it becomes a habit.
It's a lot like learning to drive a car, right? Do you remember when you first got behind the wheel? You had to think about everything. Okay, check the mirror, put on the signal, press the gas. It was all so deliberate. But after doing it again and again, it just becomes second nature. You don't even think about it. Aristotle says building a good character works in the exact same way.
But he does give us a really important warning, and it's in this famous quote. He says doing one nice thing doesn't automatically make you a nice person, right? Just like one warm, sunny day doesn't mean it's suddenly summer. Character is all about consistency. It's about the sum of all your choices, stacked up over a whole lifetime. Okay, so this all sounds good in theory. Be excellent. Great. But how do we actually know what the right or excellent action is in any given situation? Well, luckily for us, Aristotle gives us a really brilliant, practical tool. He calls it the golden mean. The idea is actually pretty simple. For basically any human quality, he says you can have too little of it, that's a deficiency, or you can have way too much of it, that's an excess. The virtue, the excellence, is the balanced middle path. It's that sweet spot right in between the two extremes.
Let's look at a few examples to make this crystal clear. Take courage. The too little extreme is cowardice. The too much extreme isn't being fearless, it's being reckless or foolhardy. So the virtue of courage is that perfect balance in the middle. Or how about generosity? Too little, and you're a miser. Too much, and you're just wasteful, throwing money away. The virtue is right there in the middle.
All right, but Aristotle doesn't stop there. He takes this whole idea one giant step further. He says this massive, lifelong project of building your character, well, you don't do it alone on a deserted island. It has to happen within a community.
And for him, this wasn't just like a nice thought. It was a fundamental truth about us. To be human is to be a social being. He believed we literally cannot reach our full potential, our telos, all by ourselves. We actually need each other to function at our best.
And because we're social creatures, he argued that the whole point of society, everything from the government to the arts, should be set up to help us all become more virtuous. A good government isn't just about collecting taxes and making laws. Its job is to create a place where people can actually flourish. And even art has a huge role to play. He thought good stories help us grasp these big universal truths and give us a healthy emotional release, what he called catharsis. And this is actually a really big break from his famous teacher, Plato. See, Plato was pretty suspicious of art. He thought it was just a cheap copy of some perfect ideal. But Aristotle, he was like, no, art is an essential tool. By imitating life, it helps us understand ourselves and our shared human experience way more clearly. So, let's wrap this up. What's the big takeaway here? For Aristotle, that ultimate goal, that eudaimonia, that life of true flourishing, it's not a finish line. It's not a destination you just arrive at one day. It's an activity. It's the ongoing, lifelong process of building your character, of actively choosing to function at your very best. Ultimately, Aristotle's whole philosophy kind of puts the ball right in our court. He's saying that we are the architects of our own character. Our choices, our habits, those are the bricks and mortar. So he leaves us with this really powerful question, one that's just as important now as it was thousands of years ago. When you look at your actions, day in and day out, are they building the kind of person you actually want to be?